Good morning. I'm sitting here in my car on my way to a networking meeting at 7:30 in the morning, and it's time of the month again to reflect at the end of November, what has happened, and to take stock again, to make sure that we review the past and understand what it takes to take our businesses to the next level. And as I sit here and reflect, one of the success stories that comes to mind is one of my clients in the distribution industry. And when I started with her in October, and I started with the MD, things weren't looking great. She was obtaining finance, or she had finance with one of the major financial institutions. They were coming down hard on her. Cash flow was disastrous. There was no money in the bank. And I thought about taking on this as a client, because would I be able to invoice and obtain my fees? But nevertheless, I had a good sense, and my gut said I had to go with it. Something that I followed, and I want to commend the CEO. And unfortunately, I can't mention the names of my clients, and I respect their confidentiality, but I can tell their story. And the story revolves around getting back to basics in the business. So when we started to unpack this, and when we had to restructure this, there's a few key things that ensured her to be able to take this business through. One of it is you've got to go and look at where's your biggest expenses. And we had to restructure this, and we had to go and relook at staff. And I really want to commend the CEO, because she did the tough thing. She had to lay off staff that have been with her for years. And, that's a process that one has to go through. It's a massively emotional process. But sometimes you've got to do that to be able to save the business, which she has done. And we'll talk about that now. The other very important thing that she did is she went back to the financial institution and renegotiated the loans. Something that she thought was perhaps not possible, but she did. And an important thing that happened is she ring-fenced, or she ensured that they ring-fenced her loans. So I helped her, putting it together and look at the loans, where you take the big debt and you put it separate, and you look at your working capital, and it's a different debt, because the working capital you've got to you pay differently as which you would pay the big debt, and the interest calculations are differently, and that made a massive effect on her cash flow, because the terms on the big debt, which was over 4 million, was different than it is for the terms for current business, for working capital, which she needs to buy stock, which she imports. That played a massive role. The other thing that also happened is there was a focus. There was an extreme focus. We looked at the stock, and we started to sell all the redundant stock, because if you have stock, first of all, you need big warehouse space. So we realized that we actually don't need all the warehouse space, and we could, decrease our monthly expenses by doing that. And also, by selling the stock, you're getting cash in, even though if it's reduced prices. You don't want to sit with stock that is there and you're not selling it. And one of the other things that we did is we looked at the debtors, we unpacked the debtors, and we went for low-hanging fruit. Cash flow was paramount for her, and we needed to get money into the bank. And what you do then is you look at those debtors and you start contacting the low-hanging fruit, and you work your way through that. And the final thing that we did is we looked not just at the salary expense, we looked at all the expenses. And we looked at the ones that we could renegotiate our contracts. We're busy renegotiating the lease for the premises, photocopiers, those type of things. We're busy renegotiating those contracts as well. And then the last thing is sales. I mean, it is actually the first thing that we did focus on, but I'm just mentioning it last because it is the best part of the business, you know. And she's increased her sales tremendously, you know, where she was under the 2 million per month. She's now gone back, and her sales figure for November is 2.7. And that's just massive. That's massive from where she was. She's in a much better position cash-wise. She's still not out of the woods, but you know what? When the curve is up, I commend my clients, because that takes guts, it takes balls, it takes chutza to do this and to get your business and to turn it around. And at the end of the day, she made a profit for the first time in a long time. She turned a profit. Her October results, which we've just reviewed, which is a bit late still, but you know, Rome wasn't burnt in a day. Her October's results yielded a profit for the first time in years, to be honest. So the bottom line of the story is when focus is applied into your business, when you're really looking at and you start from scratch and you're looking at a new eye at all your expenses and you apply your focus, you're able to take your business from here to there, to take your business to the next level. I love working with clients like that. I love working with clients that are interested in making a difference and leaving a legacy with their businesses. Until next month, we're going into a period of December. But remember, even though some people are taking their foot off the pedal, there's an opportunity is everywhere. Make sure that you are grabbing them. All the best until next month. Thank you.